Hello สวัสดีครับกลับมาสู่ Fluent Thai. Welcome back to Fluent Thai channel. My name is Chris and this is the channel where you can learn Thai from zero to fluent. That is my ambitious goal for you. Alright, well, just to recap, this is a 20 course 3 level project. We're still in the beginner, so we've already done Thai phonetics. That was fun, wasn't it? And we just did some survival phrases, so I am glad to say that I have now found some more time in my busy schedule to continue. So this is the third course, Thai grammar, and if you want to look at the other courses we'll be doing in the intermediate level and the advanced level, here they are. So without further ado, let's begin the third course of this Fluent Thai series about Thai grammar. So I've split this up into 4 topics, 4 main lessons. Firstly, we'll just have a look at the whole grammatical overview of the Thai grammar. So we're just going to see in what ways Thai grammar is unique, how it differs from specifically English, and we'll go through some of the main differences. Next, we'll look at parts of speech, an important aspect and knowledge to learn, especially as it comes to learning a second or a third language. Thirdly, we'll look at tenses, or talking about different time aspects. So basically, this is one of the major differences in Thai, is the way that they compose their tenses. They're not really tenses in the same way they are as in English, but we'll look at the way they do it. And then lastly, we'll look at Thai particles usage. So a unique thing about Thai grammar, or just the Thai language in general, is their use of particles. And basically lesson 3 and 4 are the big main differences or unique things about Thai grammar, but then lesson 1 and lesson 2 are just more of a good opportunity to review and get a whole picture. Okay, here we go. So unit 1 of this grammar course, we're gonna do a grammatical overview of Thai. So sentence structure, well, pretty much the same as English. It's subject, verb, object. I think most languages in the world are like this. Thai is a little bit different in the way it composes questions, but we'll look at that later. But for most straightforward statements, subject, verb, object, like I like tea, exact same in Thai, ผมชอบชา. So no problem there. Forgive me as I take a hot drink here. I get a sore throat quite often. Time words show tense. So Thai doesn't change verbs for tense. Instead, it uses time words. So this is quite different than English, because obviously in English we can say like eat, ate, eaten, and we use ed for past. But in Thai, it's the tense or the time is usually conveyed by specific time words like yesterday, เมื่อวาน, or พรุ่งนี้ will be tomorrow. Smaller helper words, adverbs, conjunctions, things like แล้ว, which means already, and จะ will would be an easy way to convey past or future. No plural forms. Nouns usually do not change for singular or plural in Thai. So, for example, หนังสือ, which means book. Well, it could mean book or books. So in English we have add an s in order to show it that it's plural, but in Thai it's the context which would show whether it's a singular or plural. Having said that, of course, you can just be specific and say like one book or many books or several books. So using a word to specify the amount, but also the context. Classifiers. When counting things, Thai uses a special word called a classifier. So you must use one when saying numbers with nouns. So for example, in English, we just say one cat or two cats. So to represent the plural, we just add s in English. Now for Thai, every time you're counting a noun, you need to use a classifier for that noun. So in Thai, they're saying แมวหนึ่งตัว so they're saying cat, one body, if you like. So ตัว can mean a lot of different things. Here it's just the classifier. So in English, there's no real way of saying this. An article is kind of how we say it, but we just say the number and then the noun, right? So one cat. But in Thai, they're saying cat, one body, or classifier. And then for two cats, they're saying cat, two, and then classifier for cat, or cat two bodies, if you like. So every noun in Thai has a specific classifier. And what happens is they usually get categorized, and that's the way that you remember them. So dua, for example, is used for animals. It's also used for clothing and lots of other things. Okay, let's continue. Adjectives after nouns. So in English, it's the opposite. We put the adjective before the noun. So we would say a fat cat. Whereas in Thai, they say cat fat, แมวอ้วน So describing words or adjectives come after the noun. That's a big difference in Thai. Making a question. So to make a yes or no question, we just add a particle, a question particle. There are quite a few different ones, but the main one is might at the end of the sentence. The word order does not change. So, for example, you are tall. We just say you tall, คุณสูง Are you tall? So in English, we have to swap the auxiliary and the subject. But in Thai, they just say คุณสูง again, and then they just add ไหม So คุณสูง becomes คุณสูงไหม And that's just an easy way to make a question. You just add a question particle at the end. You don't have to fluff around with the word order as we do in English. Question words at the end. So unlike English, which has the question words, I think they're called interrogatives, go at the beginning, whereas in Thai they go at the end. So who are you? In Thai would be คุณคือใคร which is literally you are who. So that's going to be the same structure for every kind of question word. Like for example, what's your name? In Thai they're literally saying you name what, คุณชื่ออะไร So that's the reason why. Negation, to say not in Thai. Thai uses a negative word ไม่ before the verb or adjective. So for example, I know ผมรู้ becomes I don't know ผมไม่รู้ ผมรู้ ผมไม่รู้ So this is the same word for before a verb or before an adjective. So if it's an adjective, for example, it's tasty มันอร่อย It's not tasty มันไม่อร่อย Alright, so ผมรู้ ผมไม่รู้ มันอร่อย มันไม่อร่อย Because sometimes in English, we have to use different tenses. So, for example, we have to add the word don't, do not, or it could be doesn't, or hasn't, or haven't, all those words. It's a lot easier in Thai. No articles. Thai does not use a and the in the same way that English does. context instead is the thing that tells you which meaning is intended. So are there words in Thai similar to a or the? Yes, but not really used in the same way in English. So for example, it's all about the context. ผมซื้อกล้วย ผมซื้อกล้วย It could mean I bought a banana, meaning one banana. It could mean I bought some bananas. Just depends on the context of that situation. So if I walk in the door and I'm holding a banana and I say, hey, ผมซื้อกล้วย obviously that means one banana, doesn't it? But if I came in the door with a bunch of bananas and I'm like, hey, ผมซื้อกล้วย it means I bought some bananas. In English, we would have to actually specify that difference in the between the singular and the plural, right? So in Thai, you don't have to do that. You can just say กล้วย If you want to be specific, sure, I could say ผมซื้อกล้วย1 ลูก I could say 1 ลูก, and ลูก is the classifier for fruit in this instance. So ผมซื้อกล้วย1 ลูก. But if I want to say I bought some bananas, I could say ผมซื้อกล้วยหลายลูก, like several, and then classifier. So there is a way if you want to be specific about it, but more often than not, it's going to be context which will indicate that. All right, well, that is the grammatical overview of the main differences and unique aspects of Thai grammar. How are we doing? We're doing well. All right. My kids and my wife are in the other room, so it might be a bit loud sometimes. You might not hear it, but I can hear it quite loudly. Parts of speech. Let's continue. So I was telling you that when learning another language, if this is your second language, definitely this is going to be more important for you, is that you have to sort of come back to the what's the word? I'm thinking in Thai. In a way, you have to go back to school and learn all of this stuff over again, because it's been a long time, and it's quite essential to learn all of these words. What I mean is parts of speech. That's what we call it, because these are key components of a language, and it's going to be useful to know what they actually are, what they mean, because you'll know a better way to learn a language, and you'll actually understand the language a bit more. Anyway, so these are main parts of speech or word types, and I'm just going to go through them all, give you the Thai translation for them, and give you an example. So let's start with a noun. What is a noun? Well, you could test yourself now, couldn't you? Pause the page. Can you explain in English what every single one of these is? Like, what's a conjunction? What's an interjection? What's a determiner? So if you can do all of these, well done. If you struggle with any of them, well then let's review them now. Okay, so a noun is something which names a person, a place, thing, or an idea. So for example, the dog is sleeping. สุนัขกำลังนอน. Alright, I'm just going to go through these one time. Pronoun in Thai, คำสรรพนาม it replaces a noun. So I, you, we, they, he, she, it, basically. She is my friend. เธอ or ลอน เป็นเพื่อนของผม. Verb, this is คำกริยา in Thai, shows action or state. They run every morning. พวกเขาวิ่งทุกเช้า. Adjective คำคุณศัพท์ describes a noun. It is a big house. มันเป็นบ้านหลังใหญ่. So the word หลัง in here is actually the classifier for house or buildings in some context. You might be a bit confused if some of you know the word หลัง also means after. It could also mean back. But here it is not meaning either. It's meaning just classifier of a house. So just help you out there. Adverb คำกริยาวิเศษ or you could say คำช่วยกริยาช่วย it helps the verb, so it describes a verb. So in what way we are doing the action, in what manner. He speaks slowly. เขาพูดช้า Okay, next one, preposition คำบุพบท in Thai shows place, time, or direction. I'm just going to use place. So for example, the book is on the table. หนังสืออยู่บนโต๊ะ. For time, you could say things like before, after. Direction would be like forwards, backwards, up, down. Conjunction คำเชื่อม. There's another word in Thai, but I've heard most Thai people use the word คำเชื่อม for conjunction. So it just basically connects words or sentences. It connects the clause. So for example, I want to go, but I'm busy. ผมอยากไปแต่ผมยุ่ง. Interjection คำอุทาน expresses emotion. Wow, that's amazing. So in Thai, it's wow. It's the same wow. They might say it in a slightly different tone. We say wow, but they say wow. น่าทึ่งมากเลยน่าทึ่งมาก That's amazing. Determiner คำกำหนด. It specifies a noun. So this car is new. รถคันนี้ใหม่. So the determiners are quite simple words. This, that, these, those. It depends whether it's near or far, singular or plural. We'll learn about these in a later course. I'm just telling you the word types at the moment. So รถคันนี้ใหม่. So คัน, here we go. We're learning another classifier now. คัน is the word, is the classifier used for cars. Funny enough, it's also used for cutlery. So you'd say like ช้อนหนึ่งคัน, so one spoon. I don't know why the same. Maybe it's because they're made from metal. I'm not sure. Article คำนำหน้านาม. So it defines a noun in English, an or the. Like I told you, it's not really used the same way in English because it's usually the context which will imply whether it's a definite article or not. So for example, I saw a cat. You could say ผมเห็นแมวตัวหนึ่ง but to be honest, you don't really need the ตัวหนึ่ง at the end. You could just say ผมเห็นแมว. So if in that situation, you and your listener or whoever you're saying the sentence to, if they know the context, ผมเห็นแมว, like ดูแมวดิ, like look at the cat, look at that cat, look at the cat, look at, there's a cat there, like มีแมวอยู่, like there's a cat. Very rarely would we need to specify like ตัวหนึ่ง unless you really want to make an emphasis on the amount, right? The how many cats are there. But anyway, if you wanted to do it specifically, you could say like ตัวหนึ่ง, and that'd be like a. The way you say the would be like ตัวนั้น. So it's the same. The is basically the same as like that in Thai. Alright, next one. Numerals. So คำบอกจำนวน shows the exact number. So he has 3 brothers. เขามีพี่ชาย3 คน. So here's another classifier for you. คน meaning people, but it's the classifier for people. So 3 คน. In English we just add s. Quantifier. This is คำบอกปริมาณ shows amount or quantity. I have some money. ผมมีเงินบ้าง. So here the word บ้าง is kind of similar to some amount. Auxiliary verb คำกริยาช่วย. There isn't an exact equivalent in Thai, but they do have a way of doing the same structure as we do in English. So it gives attribute to the verb. Basically, usually would show the tense. It could show the mood. So for example, she is studying. So is the auxiliary verb. It's used together with a continuous action. So ing. She is studying. So in Thai they would say เธอกำลังเรียนอยู่ In Thai it's kind of a choice. You could say just เธอกำลังเรียน or เธอเรียนอยู่ or เธอกำลังเรียนอยู่ so it's either one or the other or both when saying the continuous tense in Thai. Modal verb. So this is คำกริยาช่วยบอกท่าที It shows modality. I just learned that word existed, modality. It basically shows the ability, permission, or necessity. So, for example, he can swim, that's showing the ability. If I said he may swim, that would be permission. If I said he must swim, that's showing necessity. So it's these kind of words: can, could, may, might, should, would, must. So he can swim เขาสามารถว่ายน้ำได้ This is another example of like a pair of a word. So for example, we just had กำลังอยู่ So it's either one or the other or both. This is the same pair I would get used to. Is you can say สามารถ by itself or ได้ just by itself, but they're in different positions in the sentence. So สามารถ would go before the verb, and then ได้ would go after at the end of the sentence. So for example, I could say just สามารถ I could say เขาสามารถว่ายน้ำ or I could say เขาว่ายน้ำได้ or I could say เขาสามารถว่ายน้ำได้ So it's just one of those pairs you need to get used to. Classifier. So we talked about this. คำลักษณะนามคำลักษณะนาม used when counting nouns. So I have 2 bottles of water. So classifiers, we do use them in English when the necessity for a classifier is happening. What I mean is like we're literally saying bottle. But if we go way back to like 2 cats, we don't need another word to show cat. Cat is already the classifier in and of itself. But water is not countable, right? You have to put it into something in order to classify it, in order to count it. So in English, we only use classifiers for uncountable plural nouns, whereas in Thai, they just use it for both countable and uncountable. So here I have 2 bottles of water. ผมมีน้ำ2 ขวด. So it goes at the end of the sentence. Okay, well that was parts of speech. I hope you enjoyed that. You might be thinking, what's to enjoy about that? I don't know. Try and find some enjoyment in it. Okay, so next let's go to time aspect. So lesson 3 and 4, these are the main differences of Thai grammar when compared to English. So we're going to spend a bit more time on them. Time aspect, unit 3. So verbs don't change. We talked about this, but just to clarify again. For example, gin in English would be eat, ate, eaten. It would be all 3. In Thai, you don't change. It's just gin. And len would be play or played. It never changes. There's no different kind of form, unlike in English. So let's practice with 3 time types. All right. So this is what we're going to learn. We're going to learn past, present, and future. And we're going to learn some time words, as well as some helper words in order to express past, present, or future using either time or helper words. So, for example, we've got เมื่อวานแล้วตอนนี้กำลังอยู่พรุ่งนี้จะ So let's go learn them together. Let's start off with the past. So if I just want to use the time word to indicate the context of the past, well, I could just say yesterday then, couldn't I? So for example, เมื่อวานผมดื่มกาแฟ right? So I drank coffee yesterday. So you can see that in English, the difference is in Thai, the time word goes at the beginning because it's necessary in order to convey the tense of the sentence. That's why they put it at the beginning. Whereas in English, as soon as we say drank, we already know that we're talking about the past. But in Thai, they would set the context of the tense at the beginning of the sentence when using a time word. So basically anything which represents time, yesterday, last week, last month, 10 minutes ago, things like that. So เมื่อวานผมดื่มกาแฟ Next, if you want to use the helper word, this is the same structure as English. So I drank coffee already would be ผมดื่มกาแฟแล้ว Using the word แล้ว and also in English, like I drank coffee, we don't actually need the word already because drank implies past already. So it's kind of like a double emphasis. And in Thai, it's kind of like a double emphasis as well because it's always the context which would show the tense anyway. Most of the time, the context is enough, but if you want to be really sure, then go ahead and throw in a lao at the end of your sentence. So next, let's look at present. So for a time word, for example, now. Just like with yesterday, we want to put it at the start of the sentence. So I'm drinking now. In Thai, we would say ตอนนี้ผมดื่มกาแฟ ตอนนี้ผมดื่มกาแฟ and it's literally saying now I drink coffee. Whereas in English, we need to add the auxiliary I am. So we have to use am as well as adding ing. In Thai, you don't need to fuss around with any other auxiliaries. It's just subject and then the verb. So it's quite straightforward. If we want to use a helper word, if we want to emphasize the present continuous state. So in Thai, I just taught you this a few minutes ago. We would use กำลังbefore the verb and then you at the end, and it could be both or either or. You remember that? So I'm drinking coffee, you can say ผมกำลังดื่มกาแฟอยู่ or you could just say ผมกำลังดื่มกาแฟ or you could just say ผมดื่มกาแฟอยู่ Alright, last one, future. So let's use the word tomorrow, and we're just gonna say I will go to Bangkok tomorrow. พรุ่งนี้ผมไปกรุงเทพ So in the Thai, you could add the word จะ like พรุ่งนี้ผมจะไปกรุงเทพ but it's not necessary. It's not necessary because พรุ่งนี้ already implies the future, and as we've learned in Thai, the verb in Thai is not always dependent on having an auxiliary like will as it is in English. It's just the context, so you don't need to mess around with the verb. You just give the context and then that's enough. So in English, we would have to add the word will, right? I will go to Bangkok tomorrow. We can't just say I go to Bangkok tomorrow. We have to say will because we're talking about future. So first one, พรุ่งนี้ผมไปกรุงเทพ or if you want, you could add จะ so พรุ่งนี้ผมจะไปกรุงเทพ. Helper word is the word จะ just like I said. So if I want to say I will go to Bangkok, not specifying particularly when, well, just like English, you can use the word จะ so ผมจะไปกรุงเทพ. So basically where the context of the future is not stated, then of course it would make more sense to use the word จะ or will. Alright, so let's review. Yesterday already, now, verb ing, tomorrow will, that's what you've just learned. Are เมื่อวานแล้วตอนนี้กำลังอยู่พรุ่งนี้จะ Essentially, this is all you need to get by in most daily life situations when talking about time, whether it's past, present or future. This is essentially it. So make a note of this, stick it up on your wall somewhere because it's all you need. For the most part, it's all you need. Summary: Thai verbs do not change form, and tense is usually understood mainly from context or by using specific adverbs or particles. If you want to learn more about time, then I'll be doing that in a future course. I'm pretty sure it's course 7. Okay, let's finish off with Thai particles usage. So this was the main, one of the main unique traits of Thai. So we talked about how time aspect is very unique, and this is going to be about Thai particles. Other than that, grammatical overview, we've touched on everything basically. But these are the two main things which are really quite different, and you got to get your head around. So I'm using the word Thai particles, but they're basically just mood particles. But they're quite unique to Thai. I think other languages might have them, but another word I could have used is just mood particles. They're representing mood, right? So what are Thai mood particles? They are words added to the end of a sentence to express emotion, politeness, emphasis, or attitude. In other words, they show how or in what way something is being said. So this is quite a complete list. It's not all of them, but there are a lot. Wow, it's because we have a lot of emotions, we have a lot of moods when we say something, right? So English usually relies on our tone of voice in order to express the mood, right? So if I said, hey, what you doing? Or if I said, what are you doing? Or if I said, what are you doing? You see, very different mood. And it would be obviously used for different kinds of contexts and situations where I need that specific kind of mood. In Thai, you can't really do that as much as you can in English. Why? Because every word in Thai has a fixed tone. So if you start playing around with the tones, you're making the fluency and the natural, well, the correct sound of the word a bit wrong. To put it bluntly. So it's not that you can't have different tones of voice in Thai, it's just that it's quite difficult to do that and also maintain the correct tone of the word. So that's why mood particles are widely used in Thai. So this is quite a complete list, but I'm not going to teach you all of them. I'm going to do that in a future course. I might have put the wrong course there. I think it's course 7, not 5, but anyway, we're just gonna learn 4. These are 4 of the most common mood particles, and just like I touched on a minute ago, we put them at the end of the sentence to help represent what the mood of that sentence is. So they are na, si, le, rok. All right, have you got any idea what these mean? So why don't we play a game? Have a guess. Can you in any way tell me what these words do or represent, or what emotion do they add at the end of the sentence? So for those of you who might have an idea, try and challenge yourself. Can you explain? And for the rest of us, let's continue. So the first one is na. Na. This is a softening particle, so it's softening the sentence. It's making it friendly. It's also used to make the sentence appear a bit more persuasive. So it's used in persuasion. So, for example, if I said, don't forget in English. If I just said, don't forget, that would be quite, quite a command, quite strong. Don't forget. So how do we make it a bit more softer? How do we make it a bit more friendly and not so, strictly ordering you? Don't forget. Well, in English, we might add the word, okay, yeah, like, don't forget, yeah? It's that kind of emotion, that kind of mood, that kind of feeling. It could be okay or yeah. So I'm going to suggest that you represent, or what's the word? Equate the word, equivalent. Is that the word? Equate the word nah kind of like to the same way we say yeah or okay in English. So don't forget becomes don't forget, okay? Or don't forget, yeah? Or don't forget, all right? Yeah? Huh? Don't forget, huh? Kind of like a huh. But I'm not going to be so dogmatic as to, exactly equate it to one word in English. This is just trying to give you a bit of a feeling for the word. But you're going to learn in what ways it's used by just listening more and consuming more Thai content. So, nah, for example, don't forget, yeah? อย่าลืมนะ อย่าลืมนะ Alright, next one is si. So this is an urging or encouraging or a mild kind of command kind of particle thingy, right? So for example, in English, if I just said eat, if I just said eat, right? Eat. It's a bit strong. So I've got a 4-year-old boy, right? And I'm trying to make him eat his vegetables in the morning. How would I do that in English? If I just looked at my son and I said, eat, it's not really gonna work, all right? Eat. One word. Eat. It doesn't really work with 4-year-olds. So how would we make that a bit more urging, a kind of encouraging, like, come on, mate, come on, son, eat up your vegetables a little bit, will ya? We add a bit more wording to the sentence, don't we? So we might say, eat up, come on. You see the kind of mood that it's conveying. So in Thai, they would say, gin si. So I would look at my boy and say, gin si, eat up your food, come on, eat it, will ya? So that's one example of the kind of way it's working. It's encouraging, but more of like it's used with commands or orders, or you want somebody to do something, kind of a request, right? So you'll learn more context as you see it, but I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. So keep in mind that the example I'm giving you is just one kind of context. It's used in many different kind of ways, but as a kind of a summary, it's used in urging, encouraging, mildly commanding or requesting that somebody do something, but without being too strong about it. All right, next one is เลย This is used for emphasis or immediacy, so wanting them to do something quickly, or just stressing the meaning a bit more. So, for example, ดีเลย ดีเลย So what's that? Well, in English, we would just add the word very. So very good. Or we have specific words which mean very good. We could just say great. So it's just one way of adding emphasis or meaning or weight of meaning to the word. It can be used in other things like for immediacy. So if I say, come here, and I say, mani, come here, mani. But if I want to make it a bit more like, come on, hurry up, shake a leg, I'd say, mani lai. Come on, come here, get a move on, mani lai. Or if I say like, go, come on, let's go, bye lai, let's go, gotta move on. If I just say bye, that's more of like a strict kind of like go. If I say bye lai, it's like, all right, come on, let's go, gotta move on. Adding immediacy to the context. And the last one is rog. But rog is always used together with might, usually, because it's often used in a soft negation or reassurance. So this is kind of a weird one to try and understand, but it's when you're negating something, when you're correcting a wrong understanding about something, but you're doing it in a soft way. You're not saying, no, you're wrong, error. You're saying, nah, you're not really quite right about that, I'm afraid. So, for example, if I said, let me think of a good example here. Let's say we're at the restaurant, and I'm like, I order some really hot, spicy papaya salad, and I say, and then I forgot. Oh wait, I'm not sure if you can eat spicy salad, and I'm like, oh, sorry. Let's suppose this conversation is happening in Thai with the Thai friend, and he ordered som tam, papaya salad, and he put in like 10 chilies, and you're like, I can only handle one. But let's say you are somebody who can handle 10 chilies in a som tam, and your Thai friend might say to you, oh ขอโทษเผ็ดมากเลยนะ so what's he telling you? You say, I'm sorry mate, this is really spicy, เผ็ดมาก, and you're like, it's alright, I can handle it, don't worry. So you're negating, you're correcting his wrong assumption or understanding about the situation. So you could just say ไม่เป็นไร, which means no problem. But in this context, you can also add the word หรอก which would give more emphasis to the negation meaning of the word. So you're saying ไม่เป็นไรหรอก and you'd usually drag that out a little bit. So you say ไม่เป็นไร would become ไม่เป็นไรหรอก no problem, really. It's not like I'm negating you here. Don't worry about it. So that's kind of the way it works. Let me give you another example. Let's say me and my family plan to go to the beach today, right? And it's quite a hot day, but I'm thinking, it's not too hot, we can handle it. And I look outside and it's pretty sunny, and my wife looks outside and she's like, oh แดดแรงมากเลย like it's really hot, like the sunshine is really strong. แดดแรงมากเลย แดด sunshine แรง strong มากเลย very 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 แดดแรงมากเลย my wife looks at me and says, oh แดดแรงมากเลย I say ไม่หรอก I say, no, come on. You see, I'm negating her, but I'm not doing it like no. I'm not doing it like too strong. I'm being like ไม่ I'm not just saying ไม่ oh แดดแรงมากเลย. If I just said ไม่แรง, that's like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? I want to do it in a more sort of soft way, reassuring her that it's all right, we can go outside, it's not as hot as you think. So that's why I would say like ไม่หรอก. Or I could say a full sentence. I could say แดดไม่แรงหรอก. The sunshine isn't that strong. Come on, sort of thing in English. So in English we would add words and phrases to create more of a soft negation, but in Thai we can just add the word หรอก in most situations. Okay, so let's summarize. For these 4 main mood particles, you're going to be learning way more in a future course, but I just want to go through 4 common basic ones. So na is a softener. This is a very condensed summary. Si would be a mild command. เลย is for emphasis, and ไม่หรอก is for negation or soft negation. Alright, well, we have finished my mini Thai grammar course, just 4 units, 4 lessons here. So I hope that's enough to give you quite a comprehensive understanding of Thai grammar. Just keep in mind that it's usually the particles and the time aspect which is the most different. And there are some other differences, but you can check that again in the grammatical overview. Congratulations, you have finished course 3 of 20. I should say congratulations to me too for making this video, because it is pretty tough trying to find time in the day to do this. So I've managed to squeeze in almost an hour here, and I've got to go make some dinner now. So thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody who's been learning. I truly do hope that you have been enjoying these courses, and well done, you've just finished Thai grammar, and this is a big project of mine. 20 courses, 3 levels from beginner all the way through to intermediate and advanced. So our next lesson is going to be vocabulary, as you can see there. I usually say this in the beginning, but I forgot to in this one. If you do enjoy learning Thai with me and you would like to support, well, first of all, the easiest way is to just like, share, and comment on the video. It helps the algorithm. Other than that, if I do reach the threshold someday, by all means, you can help me out by just donating via the YouTube function. Other than that, I've got some payment links for those of you who would like to join my Patreon and help me out in clearing up some free time. Keep in mind, I do this just in my free time. If you are enjoying the course, then I would appreciate any support that you would like to do. Okay, thank you very much, guys. This was the third course. I'll see you in the fourth course where we can start learning some vocabulary. Hopefully, I will get the fourth and fifth course out pretty soon, actually, because it's Songkran right now. It's the water festival here in Thailand, so I've got some free time on my schedule. So you should be seeing some more courses coming out soon. So anyway, crack on, keep going. If you're enjoying this course, if this is one of your major goals and you found this course and you're like, great, I'm gonna be fluent in Thai, then this is the course for you. I'm glad that you found this channel and I'm really hoping that I can help you. Alright, thank you very much, guys. I shall see you in the next course. Sawadee krap. Thank you very much.